Hello.
Hi.
You guys are in
Hey,
LA, right?
no, actually, currently, well, the band is still from LA. Currently, Christina and I live in the San Francisco Bay Area.
Oh,
Uh,
really?
we do. My dad is ailing,
We're
so
caregivers now.
so
But
we take care of my father now because it is
it's a temporary thing, but we just don't know how long because we have to be here for the rest of his life. So
yeah.
That
it's
sounds
kind
really
of an
familiar.
open-ended thing.
I moved back here to Massachusetts because I was living in Pittsburgh because my father's 93 with dementia and my
Hmm.
mother's 89, and they still live in their house, but we're close
Wow.
enough where we can go over there. So I totally get that.
Yeah, I mean, it was becoming such a thing where I would have to leave like my job, and I would have like things were happening with my dad, and I'm kind of the only one around to take care of him. So I was, we bought a house in Azusa, California, and we were living there, and then we every weekend, I'd have to drive up, and it was just getting to be too much. And they
Yeah.
came around his caregiver, like his care team was like, yeah, he can't live alone anymore.
Well, it's
So
great that you guys are doing that.
Well, we
yeah,
can't afford to pay someone to do it, so it's like one of those things, you
yeah.
know?
I get it. I get it.
And he didn't
Uh,
want to leave his home, and we're like, well, that's a lot of stress too, trying to like force him to leave. You can't force them to leave.
that
I mean,
sounds very familiar.
Yeah, totally. We preach it to the choir. Yeah,
Very familiar.
everybody has to go through this at some point, you know?
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, Before we get into how you guys met in the Hellflowers, can you like both kind of give me a little background on where you guys grew up and where you're from and stuff?
Okay, you go.
Christina, you want to go first?
I'm from Napa, born and raised. Yeah, I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's kind of well known for wine or whatever, but yeah, my background, I don't know, about music or just in
Yeah,
general.
like when you were young, for example, when you're like a teenager, were you listening to a lot of music?
Yes, definitely. I mean, I became obsessed with music when I was like 3 years old. But I started developing like my own taste probably around 11. And at that time, it was like all about Nirvana.
Oh,
So
okay.
like, because it was the 90s, you know, and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Nirvana was the big thing. But once I discovered punk rock, I was like, I don't know who Kurt Cobain is anymore. And that was probably around 14. And then I was obsessed with punk rock, going to Gilman, and I started going to the East Bay, going to shows, and that was my identity. And but like growing up, I sang honky tonk with my dad. Like we would sing at family reunions. He really liked like Johnny Cash and Waylon Jennings and like Ken, on the road again. Is that Kenny Rock? Wait, no.
Willie Nelson.
Willie
Wait.
Nelson, yeah. So we used to sing like Willie Nelson, like all that. So
Probably
that was in
Ogie,
there too.
probably
So at
Ogie from
some point,
Muskogee.
oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
Oh,
said
oh,
probably
that's
Ogie from
Ogie from
Muskogee.
Muskogee is actually the guy from Bakersfield. No,
Proud.
um, Merle Haggard.
Merle Haggard.
Merle
I
Haggard.
know all this because before I was in the Hellflowers, I had a honky tonk band. So I was like a punk rock teenager, and then I started getting into like rockabilly and psychobilly, like probably like around 18 or something. But I always still listen to punk rock, and I always love. Whoa, what happened?
Oh, take a photo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I always that scared the shit out of me because I'm easily scared. But I always also loved like 80s new wave, dark wave, like that kind of stuff all along that way too. So these are all basically like when people ask me what my influences are, I always go like David Bowie, Morrissey, like Robert Smith, Ian Curtis. Like it's all 80s. Like I just love the 80s. Which is weird because I didn't mention any girls, but like Loretta Lynn was like my idol when I was like doing the honky tonk stuff, and I still love her. But I guess Susie Sue would be like the girl, like more punk rock version, or she's more post punk, but you know what I mean.
If you always had this impeccable taste in style as well.
I developed my style probably around 18, I think, and I haven't changed it much over the years. But I do still wear a lot of the same shit I wore when I was like 16, which is crazy to think of.
I love your bangs. And if you're listening out there, folks, you'll have to go on YouTube when we put the video up to check out this fantastic hairstyle, which you've had for a while, pretty much, right?
So yes. I think the first time I did the baby bangs, I was like a teenager. But I've mixed it up a little bit, and like I've had just my natural dark, or like I've tried different colors like all through high school and stuff. I kind of just stuck with this one because as I got older, every time I would change it, and honestly, I'm growing it out right now, so it's not as bright as it used to be, but I'm tired of bleaching it. So I stopped bleaching it, and now I'm just dyeing it. So eventually it'll be a little darker, but when I got with him, every time I would try to grow out my bangs, he didn't really like it. So I was like, I guess I'll just keep these forever. He really likes the bangs, so I'll just keep them.
Good taste, Matt.
Get
Good
my way.
taste. So, Matt,
On one
before
fucking thing, I guess.
On one
Pardon my
thing.
French.
On
But
one
don't
thing.
get too fucking excited there. I'll have to change it
Yeah, I
immediately.
know. If I show too much enthusiasm, it goes away. So I gotta play. No, yeah, no, I mean she has a lot of upkeep with the hair, so it's a lot of work for her to
No, it's not. It's actually really easy.
Matt, what about
He's
you?
meaning like I most days I do just wake up and do nothing, but he's like every once in a while she brushes it. It's so much maintenance. No, but I trim my own bangs, and I do like trim it myself, and I dye it myself. Every once in a while someone trims the bottom for me or something.
I love it. I
But
love it. Where are you from, Matt, originally?
San Jose, California, that's where we're living right now.
San
So
Jose.
I am living in my childhood house, which is tough at my age, but it's definitely a necessity at this point, especially given my father's, his needs. But yeah, so we're here. It's kind of it's sort of like taking me back to where I started, especially in music. And a lot of people I see and a lot of people we kind of hang out with were people that I discovered music with, or I got into things with. And the other night I was out with the singer of my first band. Like we all went to go see not David. We went to go see Billy Idol, and we went
Oh,
to go
yeah.
see Joan Jett the other night, and my friend Jeff, who I was in my first like live band with the first time we ever played out. We're still friends and we're still going to shows and stuff together, and we're all just old dudes doing it now. But it's
No more
it's
getting
great.
in the pit, or
We
or
hang in the back these
no
days.
more slam dancing,
It's like my feet hurt. Come
I'll
on.
still do it sometimes, but like
Yeah, she's.
I'll tell him like I'm not going to the front, and then like I'll get to a show and run to the front like a maniac, and like I'm sure eventually I'll have to stop that.
But yeah, so he was, I'm one of the guys I was in my first band with back in when I was 18, and musically I've always been sort of like all over the map. I grew up listening. I mean, my big influence when I was a kid was like Bowie. Just I grew up in the 80s, so MTV was a huge influence. So things that would flow in from the TV would but I always thought Bowie was so cool.
Yeah.
And
he's the epitome.
yeah. And
Yes.
I was into like new romantic stuff. I loved Adam Ant. I thought Duran Duran was cool, even though it was like a very talented musicians all kind of shoved together as a boy band. But I'm like, those guys can really play.
And the harmonies and like the songwriting in that band, I don't know.
But the Clash was always, when I saw the Clash, that changed everything. I saw the Clash on MTV, and I didn't discover them. I have friends of mine who are like older who had seen the Clash and stuff. So, but they were able to go old enough to go to shows and stuff. But I saw like Rock the Casbah, and I'm like, oh, that guy's a Mohawk. He's cool, and this seems oddly political, and I don't know what that means, anything. So it kind of opened a whole new world for me. But it's interesting sort of being around here and seeing a lot of the same faces and people I grew up with, discovering music and playing with and being in the music scene here, because it's got a really rich music scene in this town, and a lot of people dismiss it, but it's huge. you know.
California is like that all over. I lived in LA for like 14 years, and anywhere you go in California, there seems to be a good music scene, you
Yeah,
know?
Dude, Credence Clearwater is from the East Bay. It's like about an hour from here. And like I when I was really young, because I mean, of course, I loved Credence. Who doesn't? Like you have to.
I'm no
Like that
fortunate
voice, the
son
song,
myself.
like and I remember when I discovered they're from the East Bay, like Pinole or something, not even Oakland. It's like this town that's like in the suburbs of Oakland. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like that band. I thought they were like Tennessee. I don't know. I don't fucking
yeah,
know, but I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'm proud of my area. Like it made me proud.
yeah,
Yeah, they came across as a Southern rock band, but
Oh yeah.
they were definitely from the Bay Area. Absolutely. You were talking about the 80s before and all those bands. Were you into like Bauhaus or Love and Rockets at all? I just
absolutely.
talked to Daniel Ash, who was on my show a couple weeks ago. It was just incredible. I was so psyched to have him because, I was into Bauhaus, but then when Love and Rockets came, they were just on another level of songwriting and
Yeah, and musicianship as well. Like it's just, like his guitar, just that really big, eerie, spooky guitar, and nothing beats Peter Murphy. Just
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
We're
yeah,
definitely a huge
he,
Peter Murphy fan on
yeah,
all levels. Solo, Bauhaus, like everything he touches is
he-
gold, I think. So.
yeah, and I mean, honestly, I think one of the greatest live shows that I've seen probably in the past 20 years was Bauhaus. Like we saw them at,
And we agree on
yeah,
that one. We get to go to a lot of we went to a lot of shows before we met. We met at a show. Like and my friend is like one of the biggest, she's one of my best friends and she's one of the biggest Bauhaus fans I know. And she's like, this, I've seen them a lot and this is the best I've ever seen them.
yeah,
That's
It was
cool
at
that you got to
Cool
see
World a
that
couple
tour.
of years ago and it was
Yeah.
mind boggling. Like the tingling, the
yeah,
just the what he was creating there was something outer world, you know,
Yeah, great band. Great.
transferring to like a special place.
yeah.
No,
I love I love that scene. I've always loved I love the goth scene and I love the sounds that come like I loved Specimen as a kid and
Specimen. Wow. Beauty
uh,
of Poison, right? Yeah,
yeah,
I remember that.
and have being able to like meet some of those guys kind of like coming up and I was a big 45 Grave fan and we got to open for 45 Grave a few times and get to know Mary dying of cancer and just cool. Like, I remember like going to a party one night and hanging out with Mary all night and just like sitting at a coffee table and just bullshitting until like the sun came up. She was awesome. So it's like I never thought I'd ever be able to do things like that.
My
So
my first gig in the music industry, I worked for Enigma and Sleep and Safety, I think was the name of the record, 45 Brave. That was one of the first records I worked on.
oh, it's
I met them. I remember Paul. I remember meeting them and I was like, wow, these people are really different. I was really young back then, so it was one of the first bands I met when I moved to LA. It's interesting you brought them up. You mentioned before that you're hanging out with some guys that you used to play with. Did you play in any bands that recorded back then, or did that come later?
it recording stuff came later. I think the first time we recorded stuff and never released it. We had a lot of bands that we were like we spent time in the studio. By the time we finished our record, the band broke up. So it's just you're young and you don't know how to keep it together. Life in your early 20s like starts to change. You start getting jobs, you start getting girlfriends, or even in some cases wives and kids. Like so, people just exit. And I played with a band called the Blanks, which was a like this punkabilly act, and I still see some of those. There was four of us. We still see those guys around. One of them lives out in Maui. One of them lives here in town. And we cut a record, and it was a great record. But the band is just we were all very toxic. We were all all of us were alcoholics, and it
Were
just
we all?
yeah, you just can't keep it together with that kind of mindset, especially at that age. No money, no nothing. So that went away. But we ended up putting the record out probably about 6 years ago, and we just released it for free on Bandcamp. And I still love it. I think it's great. But it's nice.
And we're bringing one of those songs. We're about to record one of those songs with this band.
Yeah.
So he's keeping it alive to a degree.
That happens. That happens. So how did you
started
guys?
doing it. I love it.
So okay. So now we know your both backstories. How did you guys end up meeting each other, and where?
At a show in Oakland.
Yeah.
Oakland.
Yeah, we were just both at this show in Oakland.
Yeah, it was a what was the name of the band? The
Spiritual Bat?
Yeah, Spiritual Bat was like a goth band. And then a band called Golden West Trio, which is
like a traditional rockabilly band.
Really traditional like rockabilly out from. So both of these bands just like sort of smashed into one show, which was really odd. But it was sort of like a Sunday, somebody needs a show. Everybody sort of like, it's going to be a variety. And I showed up at this show. I was just I had just quit drinking. And I'm just like, oh, is this going to be the day I fall off the wagon, kind of thing. And it's a Sunday afternoon, and this girl walks up to me and hands me a flyer for her like honky tonk band. And I'm like, oh, she's really cute. And I'm just got out of a really bad relationship. So I'm like, I'm going to run away. And I did.
He didn't come to my show, by the way. But that's where
and then, but it sounds like almost like love at first sight, though, here.
Kinda, yeah. I mean,
I was curious at first sight. I was like, why is this guy not paying attention to me? It was weird to me. Like, I'm used to guys being interested in me, not to be like that, but like, he was like, he was totally like kind of aloof, and I guess that made me want like more or something.
That usually works, right?
Yeah, and it really wasn't a tactic. It was just like, I just need to get the hell out because I was terrified of everything. So,
but I thought I knew everyone in the Bay Area already, and I was like, oh, it's like a guy I don't know. So I'm curious. Like, how do I not know this guy already?
So it was a relationship.
Very small.
Was it a relationship, a love relationship before it was a musical relationship?
100%.
100%. Yeah. So she, to continue that story, about 2 weeks or maybe a month later, I got an ad on Facebook for this girl, and I looked at it, I'm like, oh, that's that girl from that show.
An ad? You mean a message?
Yeah, a message.
Okay.
Yeah,
an ad. Ooh, I didn't have an ad out. Let's be clear. He saw a message.
You guys are funny.
Oh, a friend request is what he's referring to, not an ad. Let's be clear.
So
she sent you a friend request first.
She asked me out on a date. She asked me out. And
wow.
I was all weird about it. I'm like, okay, maybe I should try to go out and like, because at that time I was just sort of like hiding away from the world. I was just like up in my apartment in Oakland. Just I didn't want to talk to anybody. I'm, trying to get clean and trying to stay clean. And so I go out. We go on our first date. And
by the way, I pre-gamed. I had like 2 drinks before I even fucking met him because I've never asked a guy out in my life. Okay, I never asked a guy out in my life. That's weird to me. Because, I mean, old school, you just don't ask, I'd never asked a guy out, But I was like, I'm curious about this guy. I want to know more. So I'm just going to fucking ask him out. What do I got to lose? So I drank 2 drinks before I even met him. And we met at a coffee shop.
Mm-hmm. And I just ended up hanging out the rest of the night. Just kind of like coffee. And then went to the Lucky 13 in Alameda, which is a kind of local spot, and
around the corner from my apartment at the time. And then he kept buying me drinks so that I just got drunker and drunker. And then we went back to my apartment and like made it clear that there's no way in fucking hell that I'm going to be sleeping with anybody. So I was just like, okay, you can come up and hang out if you want. And he's like, okay. And then we watched YouTube comedy videos and snacked on 7-Eleven like junk food.
Yeah, it was great.
Showed each other all our favorite comedy stuff on YouTube.
And you made it. I can't believe I'm asking this question. And you made it through the whole night without sleeping together?
Yes.
Of course not. There's no way. I don't do that. Like, I do not.
Oh, no, of course you did, you mean.
Like,
of course you did, you mean. You said, of course not. Of course you did make it through the whole night.
We did.
Yes,
I did.
That's good.
There was a kiss, though. There was a kiss.
He asked. He was respectful. He asked if he could have a kiss.
And I did.
And I said yes.
And I got it.
And then he asked me out to be his date at a wedding that night.
Mm-hmm.
And when was this? What year was this?
This is about 2012.
Wow.
Yeah.
13 years.
We're about to celebrate 13 years from our first date.
Yeah,
You
and
guys
we
are a great
married
couple.
seven. So
You
yeah,
guys are.
it was, and then we didn't start. She was still doing the honky tonk band, and I would go see those shows a lot. But when I went out on the date, I was already moving. I was kind of in the process of moving to Los Angeles. So we kept dating. We kept dating for a year and a half before she moved down there. So, and the band didn't start until about another year after that.
Well, I quit when I only kept the honky tonk band going probably after I started dating him. My ex was in the band and I was like, this is just awkward. Like, and I was kind of over it. I wanted to go in a different direction, and like he didn't want to go in a different direction. So it was kind of me and him, our band, the ex. And I was like, well, if you don't want to go in a different direction, I'm done with this band, because I like did all I can do with honky tonk. I did it for 5 years and I wanted to do something different. So, but I also, after all the work I put into that band, I mean, having a band is so much work, and being like the person who starts the band and doing all the work. I took a year off. And I became very depressed, very depressed. So then I realized I can't not do music after that.
Yeah. So she had asked me to do something. Maybe we should do something. I'm like, I don't know if I want to be in a project with somebody that I'm dating. That's
Well, I didn't want to either.
That's certain death.
I just couldn't find another bassist.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like he was my first pick or anything. Just being honest, like I was trying to not do the same thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so she hooked up with our original guitar player, and they were writing songs together. They were like doing stuff, and his wife, or his girlfriend, now wife, was a drummer. So, and I was a bass player. So it was like, well, we got, a singer and guitar player. You already have sort of a built-in crew. And she asked me and said, oh, okay, well, I'll jump in for a while until you guys get things together, and, then I'll bow out. And then just never happened. It just, we just started writing and then playing shows, and then that became the band until that side of it left. And
So that was around 2015 that you guys started playing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that was I think our first show was with, not our first show, but like one of our first shows was with Moto Bunny.
Oh.
Yeah. And that was like probably, and Nicole joined us on stage, and she was playing the guitar at the time. And we did like a Depeche Mode song or something like that, it was funny because it was sort of like, definitely not out of her depth, but not really into what she does. And, this is our first time ever performing it. So, and that video's out there somewhere. It's the internet. The internet doesn't lie. There's all this evidence of things that happened in the past.
It's really interesting to me because I met you through Nicole.
Yeah.
And you were working on all these videos. I just went back and found that Moto Bunny video yesterday.
Pretty amazing video.
Yeah, all of your work, by the way, I was going to get into this later. You're a fantastic video. You make great videos, Matt.
Thanks.
It's definitely on top. I mean, I know Nicole is like, believe me, she does not work with anyone that isn't great at what they do. And she found you, and that's how I met you. And I've watched so many of your videos.
Yeah.
But we'll get back into that.
Sure.
Definitely in a minute. So how soon after you guys started playing did Come On, Let's Dance EP, did you start recording it?
2016. Oh, start recording it.
Yeah, when did you realize you were going to go through with this and make a record?
Well, I think that we were probably playing just a few months, and then we decided to record. We did take a crack at recording a couple songs.
Like an amateur guy.
The kind of guy who was still trying to figure it out, and it didn't really pan out. He didn't really capture the sound that we wanted. And we still didn't know what the sound we wanted was. So we ended up kind of reworking things, and then had been working on an animated project. Dave Klein was helping me out.
Yeah, he's part of the whole thing. So I'm glad you brought him up.
you know, he's definitely our guy, you know, and he's been our guy since the beginning. But Dave and I had been working on something else, and they said, hey, maybe we can come in here and record the band.
Well, what actually happened was Nicole did a theme song for his animated series, and I heard that, and I was like, I want to record with that guy.
Yeah.
That's why we recorded with Dave, because that song was amazing. Like the sound of it, the production of it, I was just like, that's the guy I want.
It's
and then after that, that's who we've been going with.
It's basically a lost Love Me Not song, basically. It's a song that very few people have ever heard. And
Wow.
it's amazing. It's very short. It's maybe, what, 30 seconds? And but between Dave Klein jumped on there on theremin, Nicole did keys, and it was Jay. I really wanted Jay, or you know, Jay, the drummer of Love Me Not. I really wanted, because I love him as a person. I think he was one of the most amazing, super fun guys. And it was Christina on bass, and it was, you know, and Michael did the guitar riff, and so it was. I think it was one of the last recordings, Love Me Not, before that petered out. So.
But that's why we worked with Dave, because I heard that and I was like, that's who I want to work with. And I was like adamant after that. Like, and that's who we've been working with ever since.
Yeah.
That was during their sucker period, the right at the end of the band. Yeah, because I remember getting that phone call from, I was their manager at that point. I get the phone call that husband and wife breaking up, bands breaking up. And I'm like, wow. Because we had just got a T-Mobile commercial. I mean, it was like,
dude, they did some amazing stuff.
That T-Mobile commercial paid for everything. You know, I mean, it was like really a great break, but you could tell that they were going in separate directions.
It was I mean, that's a tough thing. And that was the thing that I always, you know, that I was always afraid of, you know, initially just being in a project with, you know, your partner. And we've made it work. And we've come to this kind of like thing where it's like, we know who does what. And we stick to that, and it works. So
you guys were in LA at this point.
Yeah, we moved down there and kind of started the music thing down there, and it's 10 years.
I've been following you all along because of Nicole. I've got to give her the credit because she introduced us.
Yep.
And then, you know, after Come On, Let's Dance, you had an EP. And then you did your first full length in 2019.
Yeah, we had another EP. We had two. We had one called Vacation as well.
Vacation, right. Yeah. So Come On, Let's Dance and Vacation.
Yeah,
and so then,
2 5-song EPs.
I know the CD I have in my hand is a compilation of all the different things. So, and I went through the list.
It's both full lengths on one CD.
Both full lengths. Not every song, though, is it?
Not every song, because
we have other songs that we have singles and things that we've released separately.
Yeah, we have covers.
We're hoping to release this covers record very soon.
You guys are good at covers.
There now, Spanish Bombs, the cover.
Yeah, you guys do it.
That's not on there. But,
right.
And then, you know, we've done other stuff that just, you know, that went on a 7-inch or like other stuff like that, you know.
Talk about that period around 2019, because putting a record out then, now when you look back at it, and then there's a pandemic, did that totally put a...
Yeah, it put a huge stop on everything. Like, we released that album, and then we were planning our tour for the next year. We were going to go to, like, East Coast of Mexico and all this stuff.
Japan was another.
And then, you know, boom, nothing.
Everything stopped.
Then we sat at home for 2 years.
So that really killed the momentum.
Yeah, I think if we would have, I think things would be a lot different if that didn't happen.
For all of us, right?
Oh, yeah. So many things.
How was your fan base in LA at that point? Was it growing?
It was growing, and we were.
That record release party was packed and wonderful.
Yeah, we did it with Channel 3. Our friends in Channel 3 kind of like came out and headlined the thing. When they approached us, they're all, "Hey, do you want us to come and play it?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah!" I'm not going to say no to
They're
that.
the best guys.
They're the best.
I worked with them too at Enigma in the 80s.
Yeah, Mike and Kim are just phenomenal.
We just love those guys.
Good guys.
Their wives and everything. Yeah. They're just like the best people.
We just did a show in London, and Mike showed up. Mike just texted me. He's like, "Hey, man, coming out." So
him and his wife came, and It was awesome.
It was great. It was great to see him. And then they just played a great show up in San Francisco, in the Vesuvio Alley, which is just this little like alleyway, and it was like 400 people just packed into an alleyway, and it was incredible.
All
So
those original bands from that era, any one of them, it seems like, can play shows. Now, I was in San Pedro for the No FX last three
um,
shows, and the show I went to was 7 Seconds, DI,
yeah,
Buzzcocks. Even though Pete Shelley is gone, Steve Diggle held it down pretty good. And then, I got in because I got a free ticket because the Dropkick Murphys, I know those guys. They're
all
from
right on.
where I'm from. But all the bands that played were all like old guys. It was
Yep.
amazing, man. Except the Last Gang. They were the young band on the bill.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
just
Yeah, they're a good band. They
they're
just
great.
played out here recently.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
she.
shot I shot it like a little I was practicing with a new camera, and I brought the camera with me to the Last Gang show, and we had seen them once before in Orange County. We just kind of like showed up at one of their shows. I'm like, oh, they're pretty good.
Yeah,
And
they were great, man.
they came and just they did it. They killed it out here. So
I met Brenna's mother in line in the VIP line.
mhm.
She was like behind us, and she's like, "We gotta hurry up. We're gonna miss our daughter." And I'm like, "Your daughter's in the band?" So we let her go in front. We just made it right when they started, and Brenna was on the show, and we talked about that. And
Oh, that's awesome.
her mother and father were great.
Mhm.
They were like such cool people.
Yeah, Brenna's great. Like
Yeah.
I don't know her at all. But I think a lot of her songs are very cool. I think we kind of fit into that same pocket a little
Yeah, I
bit.
could see you guys playing together, definitely.
Yeah, we're doing a show. I know their drummer works at Program Skate Shop down in Fullerton, and we're doing a show there with our friends from Japan just in a couple weeks. So yeah, and the Last Gang has played there, of course, and you know it's kind of cool to see like a lot of these female fronted bands really just taking off and getting really like Bad Cop and you know
Women run the industry now.
yeah, which is great, and I think it's awesome. Like it's awesome because we need that perspective.
I'm
So,
not just talking about Olivia Rodrigo and Taylor Swift. I was just watching a Die Spitz live thing this morning, this band from Texas.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
we
they're great.
know them.
Yeah,
Really
We
good.
don't know them, but we know of them. We saw them. I feel like we saw them
yeah.
at Punk Rock
It's not my
Bowling or
fault.
something.
They're
Yeah.
having an identity crisis about their style because one minute they're metal, then they're punk, then they're something else. And I think they're
We
trying
do
to,
that too, though, and I think it's totally
Yeah.
okay.
yeah,
Like the record is like there's a
We
straight
mix
up
it up.
honky tonk song on our record. Like there's like a pedal steel and everything. And then there's a surf song. And
Poor Vito, what is it? I know that if I say it wrong, you'll have to correct me. Vominos means let's go. What does
yeah,
poor Vita mean?
Forever?
pretty
Forever.
yeah.
I know what Diablo Gato means because I have one of them. He's been good so far. He's hiding somewhere. He usually makes an
Double
appearance.
Yeah, we got a couple.
Our friends from Mexico call themselves Los Gatos Negros, the
Yeah,
black cat.
yeah. Of Soyalita. Yeah, they're amazing.
Yeah, I know that band. I've heard of
Yeah.
them.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're awesome. Awesome. Yeah, Gabby is our Mexican drummer. Is like whenever we go play Mexico, he's the guy that jumps in and does it. I've known him since I was 15 years old.
Do you go down there a lot?
We've been down there twice playing, and I want to go back like really bad. You
We
know,
were there about almost 3 years
3 years
ago
ago,
for
yeah.
his birthday. We did a show down there
I
in
turned
Mexico City.
50.
I've never made it that far down, but
Oh,
I did. I
yeah,
did go to some shows in Tijuana. I was working.
Mexico City, you gotta go.
It's another level, right? Yeah.
yeah. It's
Oh, the energy there. they bring it.
yeah.
It's
Mexican.
fun.
We did a show with Mexican hooligans and Los Gatos Locos.
That's
So
great that you guys are getting out of the country and doing shows. That's fantastic. Um, Vamonos. When I first heard that, I remember when that came out last year. Did you guys ever see the movie called Signs? It's
yes,
Do you remember the scene where Joaquin Phoenix, there's a bunch of little Spanish kids, they're showing him on TV and he's going, "Vámonos, vámonos" to the kids? Do you
I've
I
never
remember
don't
seen this movie.
I don't remember that part.
there's
That's
the creatures out there coming after him, the
yeah,
creature, and
the
all of a
big
sudden he's trying to say "Vámonos." It reminded me of me because I kept saying "Vanamos." It's "Vámonos." Okay, sorry, I have to
that's
get that out of
awesome.
my system.
I like that movie. I think that movie's good.
Yeah,
So
it's well, Mel Gibson. His whole
I know, but
He lost his mind. What are you
it's
gonna
a
yeah.
do?
Shyamalan movie, so it's kind of like he does some good ones from time to time. So like, not everybody knocks it out of the block every swing. So, but yes,
So, how much touring did you do off the Vominos record? And if I'm saying it wrong, tell me. How much
um,
touring did you do off of that? Did you
I think
you
it's the
said you
most
went to
we've
England?
ever done. To be honest, we did off that record. We did two runs. We so far with the complete band, we've done three runs in UK,
That's great.
and yeah, that's just off that record alone. Because like we were talking about before when we did Por
That
Vida,
wasn't released on the first or the
um,
first one.
what's that?
That Vominos wasn't released on the first one.
No, it's the second one. That's
Yeah.
so we've done off that since that record has come out. We've done three runs in
Well,
UK.
two runs in the UK from that record.
Okay.
Yeah, because it wasn't released till 2024.
Okay. So
Yeah.
sorry. So two runs of the UK.
The wife's always right.
Yeah.
Right, honey? I don't have a wife. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
He's all just because I don't want to deal with that kind of shit, you
Yeah.
know?
No, so we did Mexico. We did two runs in Mexico. I think about that time that record came out.
How many shows do you play when you go down there?
Not many. We kind of did a one-off for a 50th birthday party for Gabby Vallarubia, who was our drummer, and he invited us to come down. And I'm like, "We'll come down if you play drums for us." He's like, "Deal." So that's like one less member that we have to like fly down.
It was more like a vacation, and then we played a show.
But it was insanely packed, like insanely packed. Like the room was so. We had just got tattooed that day.
Our tattoos got infected.
Both our tattoos got infected because it was so sweaty, and we're like
It's good now,
rubbing against people, and it was disgusting. Sorry, it was gross. But the show was great. We had a blast, and then when we went down to Mexico City, that was my 50th birthday, and I said, "I want
50? You do not look 50, man.
Well, he's turning 53.
I'll be 53."
Wow, you look great, man.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it's clean living, I guess. I don't know. So I don't know, good genes or something. I have no idea. But yeah, so we went down to Mexico City and we just did another kind of like one-off show down in Mexico City.
But these aren't since Vomit. I don't think we've been to Mexico since Vominos, babe. Because Vominos
I
came
guess
out.
you're right.
Yeah, Vominos came out last year. So that record's only been
Ever
out
since
about a
COVID,
year.
my brain is just.
And we have not been to Mexico in the last year. So the only thing we've done since Vominos, I think, is the England
and Japan.
Japan. We did Japan.
And dates in California. Did you go anywhere else besides California?
Maryland. We did Maryland.
Oh, we did do Maryland. Yeah.
Maryland.
Yes. So for Johnny Fink from Missing Fink Records, we did one of his
Fink
parties,
Fest.
Fink Fest, out there. He flew us out there. We did a one-off show and then flew right back. And then now we are heading back to do
Finkoween.
Yeah.
Did I see a Portland, Maine date somewhere on your schedule?
Happening. So
October 16th.
So my my little brother Scott Sari is doing. I don't know if you're familiar with Scott, but Scott is an amazing musician. He grew up a little bit out in San Jose, a little bit out in Philadelphia. He used to play bass for the Wild Hearts.
Oh, okay.
So he was in one of the bands that I had out here. Incredible musician. He went on to like doing great things. He's having kind of a rough spot right now. He's got a brain tumor.
Oh,
That's really. I mean, his records are phenomenal. They're incredible, and just incredible rock and roll records. So I I'd spent a little bit of time out there a couple months ago just to visit him and spend some time. And he doesn't really have the ability to really talk.
He's in Portland?
He's in Portland, or just outside of Portland, like Gorham. So, so I want him, I want to come out there. That's the only reason I really wanted to do Portland, was because I just want my little brother to come out. And
Do you have a show put together up there yet?
we do, yeah. We're doing. I can't remember who's playing with us. It's
The Tiger Bomb.
Tiger Bomb. And
How did I know it would be Tiger Bomb?
Because
Linda used to live in the Bay Area, so
I think I heard Tiger Bomb on your show. I think you spun Tiger Bomb.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
say
And I thought they were phenomenal.
they're straightforward garage rock,
Yeah,
retro.
but it's good shit, and like it's a really solid. And I've heard them on other people's shows, and I really like them. And I heard they were from Portland. They're and Chris Rogers knows them, and Chris has played on every Hellflowers record, but he's also
he's gonna play that show too.
Yeah, I met him through my little brother Scott. Like he was playing for Scott when I went out to I went out to Cambridge to go make a music video, and then I went and did another music video in Western Massachusetts, and but I like Chris is cool, and I'm like I didn't know they had a keys player, and then I didn't know they actually had one of the best keys players in the States, and so yeah, so Chris I had wrote Chris and I said, hey man, we want to play on. If I can't get Nicole to do something, it'll be Chris Rogers.
Yeah, he knows
Like
all.
we're playing at Gritty McDuff's on the 16th with Tiger Bomb and Chris Rogers.
Yeah, that's a great show for Port. I mean, that's exactly who you want on your bill.
Yeah.
Chris plays with a lot of people up from Jeff Palmer's and all those guys.
Yeah,
I'm
Kurt.
drawing a mental block right now, the name of the band, but there's a few bands that he plays a lot with. That's really good. It's too bad you guys aren't playing Boston because you're going to be so close to
So
Boston.
Boston was going to be, if it wasn't Portland, Maine, it was going to be Boston, or it was going to be Philadelphia. So just because we have other friends out in Philly, and people kept wanting us to be a part to play out there. I think the next time we go out there, it'll be Boston. I would love to. I love Boston a lot. I think it's a great town. I always have fun when I go there. So
Yeah, you guys would do great there.
yeah.
Doubt.
So yeah, we're doing Portland, Maine, New York, and then Maryland again.
That's cool.
Just 3.
So, this compilation that you did with Rum Bar Deluxe, it's got everything pretty much on it. And the packaging and everything, if you're listening, you'll have to go on YouTube to see me hold it up. Is this coming out on vinyl?
It is not. As far as we did this because I couldn't figure out, Lou had hit us up and he said, what do you got, coming out? And I said, we got a covers record that Fink is putting out. It's a 6-song thing, but other than that, we're not putting out anything until 26, until we do a new record. But we could, since we never put out a CD copy of Vamonos. We never released a CD. We just CDs
Digital.
weren't selling at the time, but now they are for some reason. I said, well, why don't we just like repurpose some of these old songs? I don't think a lot of them really got to get out there because of the pandemic. So I said, well, why don't we just put together our first 2 records on a CD, and that that'll kind of breathe some new life into them. So we did that. Yep, there we are.
Yeah, this is great. I want to take it out of the CD and put it on my wall.
Yeah.
It's a little poster.
Yeah, that was fun. It was the fact that he came to us and said like, hey, let's put a poster in there. I'm like, oh, that's
Did you know Lou? How did you meet Lou?
We met Lou. He was interested. I think when the first I heard from Lou was probably when he heard Vamonos, the song, and and he's all, oh, you guys are great. But I know, I think who our drummer Richie, our current, I think he's kind of exiting right now, but he knew Lou. And but I had been familiar with Rum Bar for a while, just because of some of the bands that are on there, and he handles some bands that Chris Rogers is in,
We play with a lot of those bands. They're part of like the LA rock and roll scene.
We're sitting on a remote. Sorry.
Oops, sorry about that. Just a second.
That's okay.
Yeah. Here, let me see.
Here, I got it.
Just throw it over here.
I got it.
Okay. But yeah, but yeah, Rum Bar is great. And I, you know, every chance that like you can get to have somebody help you, because doing a band is so much work. It's a ton, and it's damn near impossible to get any attention from anything. But I think Lou has been phenomenal on like getting us a lot of radio play, getting us a lot of attention.
Yeah,
You know,
Lou is a great guy.
yeah,
I
we
just,
talk hours.
yeah, he loves to talk.
Yeah, no, but I mean, so do I. She'll tell you.
There's a
But
bunch of LA bands now going through, that are on Rum Bar, like Frank Meyer, all of Frank
yep,
Meyer's
we
bands,
love Frank.
Crusados, because I talked
Mm-hmm.
to Tony Marsico. What a
Hmm.
fucking great guy he was to talk to from the Plugs and the Crusados, you know. And so there's definitely a Boston LA connection with Rum Bar, which is really good for you guys to
Yeah,
have.
Greg and Tista's on there too. We do a lot of shows.
Yeah.
Tista and who else is on? I know Glimmer Stars.
Yep.
You know,
And then a ton of,
yeah, Richie plays in the Glimmer Stars as well. He's our drummer, plays in that band as well. And
That's his brother.
yeah, it's his little brother. So, or older brother actually.
I don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember.
uh, yeah, well, it's great that you did that. I wanted to talk to you about Girl You Want because, and then your videos. Girl You Want, the minute I heard the very beginning of it, the first time I heard that, I said, that's Nicole. I knew it was Nicole. And then I watched the video and it's just really, you guys really did that cover justice, you know. Plus, Devo all of a sudden, there's all this new interest in them. So the timing
Well,
is
they just had a documentary come out on Netflix.
yeah, the
Very
timing is really good for you guys to have that out now. Plus, I think it's probably one of their top two songs.
Yeah,
Whip It and that one, or Uncontrollable Urge. You know, they're all three of those are.
I've been a Devo fan ever since I was a kid. So yeah, I love that song, and I don't. Why did we end up doing it? I don't remember why how we picked that one to cover.
Knowing me, this is how we do things. I see which one I sound the best on, and that's the one we go with.
Oh,
When we're gonna cover a band, I just go through their catalog sometimes by myself with my guitar and decide which one I think works best.
we did a Halloween show, probably with it was the sort of the second generation of the second lineup of the band, which was like Cat Place on guitar and Mark Powell on drums. We did a show where we all dressed up as Devo, and then we came out and did "Girl You Want," and it's on like
That might have been it, yeah.
she had a custom Devo like thing made. Our friend made it for her, and like this whole outfit. It was great, and we played one song, and then everybody kept saying, "Play more Devo, play more Devo."
Well,
You know?
I learned, but everyone else didn't learn. I learned like another Devo song at least. I was like, "Can we do both these all now?" I'm like, "Okay, I guess he didn't learn it, or someone didn't learn it."
Yeah, too busy.
Is there a Devo's covers record coming in the future?
No,
Definitely not.
I mean, I would if there was us, like maybe just one with a bunch of other bands, I would happily throw that song on it. Like happily throw that song on it. But I don't want to do a full Devo record. But having Nicole do it, I mean, that was a no-brainer. I'm like, oh, we do it, but I have Nicole like come in on keys, and she did it initially on a Farfisa, and it didn't. I'm like, nah, man, just we should do it another key. And she's so accommodating.
Is that an electric piano that she does it on?
Yeah, I think she did it on. She just has another keyboard. I think she's done some other stuff for me, just keyboard work and not Farfisa. And this one worked out. She's done some like organ tracks, like the band that I had before. She jumped on just a straight, just big organ sound, very creepy. Yeah, to have her, but I really wanted to have her in the video, but she is a moving target, and it's really hard to like sort of like nail, her positioning down. But her, she has family in Sacramento, So I called her. I'm like, hey, are you going to be in Sacramento for the holidays? And she's like, yeah, I'll be with my mom, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, cool. Do you want to, can I steal you for like an hour to meet me somewhere? And so she came out, her daughter came out, her mom came out, you know, and I just threw her in the room with a keyboard and just like, we just need to get fingers on keys and you dancing around a little bit. And that was it. It was a half hour and she was out. So, but yeah, that was a lot. That video was a lot of work. So
It
we had a lot of
it's it,
information. And
Christina can probably answer this question, faster than you can, although you'll know the answer. Having someone around that can make videos like all these videos, it's
Oh
got
my
to be
God. I
it's
didn't even have a one video in my last band. And we had one t-shirt that was like made by some guy at the t-shirt company that was just okay. Oh no, it's amazing having an artist.
plus he does all the artwork too.
Graphic artist, he shoots, he edits, he like does it all.
He's
So
a keeper.
it's a oh yeah, well come on. 7 years married, 13 years together.
What about the concepts for the videos? Do you come up with these together or does Matt just write the
Together.
yeah,
script together?
Yeah. I have a lot of ideas. I just don't have the talent of like that kind of art. You know what I mean?
Well, you are the talent though
I have a lot of
in the
I have a lot
video.
of concepts.
Yeah.
Concepts of plans.
So, what do you want to accomplish now? I mean, what do you see for the future for the band? Where do you want to go with this?
I want more touring, to be honest.
I want to get in front of more people, some more festivals, more bigger shows, opening for bigger bands. We still haven't hit anybody up about a booking agent. We need to do that. 10 years in, we haven't even tried to get a booking agent. That's really important, I think, for us to get to the next level. We're writing like crazy right now. So we just need time. Like we need to get in the studio. And like this whole dad thing is halting everything because he's in the hospital right now. Like we were supposed to go record last weekend. So we have nothing but roadblocks in front of us, but we're trying to make things happen as hard as we can.
I think we're pushing past a lot of it. I mean, the fact that we last year was this past year was the busiest year that we've had. Doing Rebellion for the second time in the UK, which was great, and just playing with your idol. We did a shorter run in England, but I think it was our more successful. So
yeah, just basically getting better shows and better things, like growing, hopefully, growing, reaching more people, and keeping doing what we're doing, but just always trying to strive to be better.
yeah. And
Yeah,
playing,
I think having this CD out is going to help you too because it's going to reach a lot more people because Lou's got his own network.
yeah,
Yeah, and him and Johnny both do, and it's been really great. Like when we went out to the Thinkoween thing, we sold merch like crazy. He had that place almost sold out, and like we had never played there in our lives.
yeah.
The response was amazing. Like just
That's
having
great.
people like that believe in you, like having these two guys that are helping us right now, like it's growing us, and like just little things like that. That's why we really do appreciate it, and we take whatever opportunities we can get, but like we're just trying to reach that next step and set goals and get to them. But like I said, like I think it would happen faster without the pandemic, without the ailing parents and stuff like that. But yeah, like you said, we still make it work. But I mean, it's a little slower run for us because like my mom died in 2017. My dad died in 2018. His mom died in 2019. Then there was a pandemic. Ever since that, we've been basically taking care of his dad. Now we're here living with his dad. And every time we have something planned, we have to cancel it. So it's like between all that, we are still making things happen, but it's been a rough. Like it's like roadblock after roadblock. And
That's a lot, man. That's a
people
lot.
don't realize how lucky they have it that don't have these roadblocks because you can definitely move faster. But we'll still get there. And I have a lot of friends that are a lot older than me. Like you guys were talking about Nicole, you're talking about my friend Chelsea. These women are older than me and they're killing it. They're still going, they're touring, they're doing things. And so I'm like, they're doing it and they're 10, 20 years older than me. Why can't I keep doing it?
Yeah, I see this band
I mean?
make on an upward progression, actually. You guys are on an upward progression.
I'm trying, but I get inspired by these other women because it's like I'm thinking, oh, I'm getting older, but then I see I see people that are, way older than me, like doing it, like fucking Mick Jagger's still doing it, like Iggy Pop, you know what I mean? I don't have to, like, even though I have to deal with all these roadblocks, I mean, someday they won't be there anymore, and then I can really take off. So I'm just kind of waiting. Like, once that happens, no one's going to stop me. Nothing's going to stop me at that point. You know what I mean?
I
So
believe you. I know what you mean, and I believe you.
I'm determined, But I always had this thing, like I told him, oh, when I turn 50, I'm like, well, I'm gonna like sit back and like maybe but then I mean he's already over 50 and he's fucking, so I mean, like, do I really have to stop at 50? Probably not,
I don't know.
But I'm gonna sit back and like look at things and see where I'm at and see what I want to do at that point. You know what I mean?
There's
Steve,
so
I just
many
don't know
older
what else to
bands.
do with my time anymore. Like, I just said, this is what I do now. So
There's so many older bands out there now. I mean, this is the end of, I'm looking at this, the next 10 years, the end of rock and roll as we knew it. It's going to be a whole new ball game after
But
that.
have you noticed all the young people? Like when we go to shows now, there's young people. So there's
I
that
hope
whole
so.
generation that only like DJs. Not anymore.
Yeah.
There is, I mean, you're talking about like bands like Die Spitz. Have you heard of the Dollheads, like from Las Vegas?
No, I haven't.
But like there's Scout,
Wet Leg is a band.
Nice
Wet
or
Leg is
Nice
great.
or whatever. Like there's all these really young hip bands coming out that are doing punk, garage, rock and roll kind of stuff, like we are, and killing it. And then we're going to shows and seeing young people there. So we're trying to do more all ages shows, and but also like I'm seeing the younger people, I'm seeing people that are older than me, and I'm like, it's coming back.
I
You know what
love
I mean?
hearing that.
So I'm
I
seeing a change for sure.
I want rock and roll to live.
I was like determined. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to just do what's popular because it's popular and sell my soul. Like, I'm just going to keep doing what I love, and then it'll come back around, hopefully. And it finally is. I feel like just recently, it just started coming back, like in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
You got me all pumped up now, man.
Yeah, man. Well, I've just
Fucking rock and roll.
I get out to, like I said, we get out to shows. We went to the Channel 3 show, and it was a free show in the middle of an alleyway in San Francisco, packed. And there was
With
kids.
people from 16 to 60.
Yeah.
Having the best time together, not thinking about diversiveness, okay? Let's get out of that and just come together. That's what I love about the music scene, is we don't think about those things. In person, we don't think about those things. It's just an online fucking... It's people need to get out and live in their communities and connect with each other.
Get off social media. I agree.
Oh, yeah.
The fact that, like, I was talking to Mike McGran, and he was like, Mabuhay Gardens in San Francisco is going to reopen.
What?
And they're now talking about, like, they're going to start booking shows there again. And, like, that is, that's the epicenter of where things started in this city. So what'll happen, we'll see. But the fact that they're actually trying, because we're losing all the venues up here. Like, all these great venues are going away.
Is
Closes
Ruthie's
every month up here.
Yeah.
is Ruthie's still around?
What's that?
Ruthie's in Berkeley, Ruthie's in?
I don't think so.
I've never heard of that in my life.
Yeah,
When was
I think
that?
Sorry. Okay, I'm showing my age now.
But like Berkeley Square, I used to go to Berkeley Square almost weekly.
I saw AFI at Berkeley Square, and they closed soon after.
Yeah.
It was the release for I Want to Ride My Skate, whatever album that is.
Yeah. I saw, I would go up there and I would see the Addicts, or I would see Tilt, which is like one of my favorite bands. And that place is gone. Now, the Parkside in San Francisco, which is, San Francisco, sadly, I felt was dying, and it was like, just culturally, just everything was getting sucked out because you can't afford to live up there. All the art's getting pushed out to Oakland and beyond. But I got to tell you, man, Christina and I went up to go flyer up in Sacramento.
Oh, boy. Talk about a flourishing scene.
Really?
Sacramento's got something going on. And that's, because I've always, and not to be prickish, but I'm just like, it was kind of a cultural dead zone for like a long time.
Yeah,
maybe to the outsiders, like to somebody on the outside, they don't really see what's happening. Man, it's the same thing in San Jose. People from the outside they'll dismiss it. Maybe there was always something there. But we went up there just to go put up flyers. We got a couple shows coming up with our friends East Bay and Junkie 58, which we'll get back to if I can promote them a little bit. We went up there, putting up posters, and this like it was popping everywhere we went. There was like people out, people going to shows. They were throwing a show at a bike store. Like the roll-up doors came up at a bicycle shop, and there was a band set
Every
up right
show
there.
was crowded. People were excited.
Yeah.
Love to
I
hear
was
that.
handing them flyers. Oh, we'll definitely come back for this. Like, we were just like, wow, it's hip. It's really cool. Like hip here, man. Like they got something going on.
Yeah. So
I mean, it's way more. Say for California, it's affordable. You know, like where we're at right now. The reason we have to live physically with his dad, there's no freaking way we could even afford a 1-bedroom apartment here. Like it's outrageous in this area.
yeah.
1.5 million gets you a fixer upper. Like that's what we're talking about here. So like, but in Sacramento, you know, maybe you could get a house for 800,000 or something. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what it costs there, but I'm just saying, like I'm sure the apartments are about half what they are here or something.
Yeah.
So what happens is like people just move. All the people that are cool and artistic that can't fucking afford to live in the East Bay of San Francisco and stuff like that, they move out there.
The same thing happened in Boston too. You know, everyone had to move out of the city because all the art people, it's $3,000 a month for rent. I mean, it's just a joke.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
It's a stranglehold on
yeah,
like no, it doesn't matter how much money you make, you're just gonna get choked out of where you're at. So so that I see that happening up in Sac, and I think that's cool because like I think everybody deserves to have a great scene, whatever town you're in. And I think it's really happening for them right now, which I'm excited. I'm excited to go up there and play shows now. And before I was always dismissive, and maybe that was just me being snobbish. But like
I never dismissed it. I just never knew how to get booked there. So, you know.
But yeah, so we're playing up there with 2 bands. We're doing 4 dates with 2 bands from Japan that are absolutely incredible. We did Japan earlier this year, and with our friends East Bay, and which I've never seen a better show at a smaller level. Like they'll play an empty room to, not to say they play empty rooms, but like if that was to happen, it would still be them playing to Hammersmith Odeon.
They're giving 1,000% every single show, and we played 5 shows with them, and I was never tired of seeing them. Like every night, like I was like, wow, they really got it together. They really they have the whole thing.
I love that. They
have the whole thing.
Yeah, and then Junkie 58. I think it's just Junkie 58, not 58%, but that's just how their name is spelled.
Oh, I thought it was 58% because that's how you look it up, though. Junkie 58%.
And it's just 3 Japanese girls playing just very poppy, fun punk. It's just like it's almost like watching an animated TV show, just very loud. They were fantastic, and I'm so excited that they're coming out here.
I gotta check them out. Definitely. Yeah. Hey, thanks, you guys. You guys are awesome, man.
Thanks for having us, man.
My pleasure. I mean, I feel like it should have happened a while ago, and I apologize that it's taken this long. But I wish you guys the very best. I've been really digging this CD because I get to hear the whole history of the band, and I recommend it to people out there listening. Deluxe on Rum Bar. It's really, really.
Make sure to follow us on everything. We're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Spotify, Bandcamp. We have singles. I mean, we're getting back in the studio ASAP, and the new stuff's gonna blow your mind because this guy's writing a lot more, and it's not just me writing anymore. Not that I mean, most of those songs on that are me, but I want it to be more of a collaboration, and we're collaborating now. So the stuff to come next, I think, is going to be the most exciting because we're really workshopping these songs.
I'm excited.
And they haven't been recorded. They haven't been anything before. So they're all new stuff, completely new.
Cool. All right. Thanks, you guys.
That's so cute.
He still likes me.
I fucking love her. It's great.